Hello, everybody. This is Faris.
And this is Caleb, and welcome to another episode of Conversations with the Homecare Guyz.
Yes, sir. We got it, brother. We got it.
It's on 3 takes. Faris ended up doing 3 takes. He totally forgot. Being out for a week, he totally forgot how to say the intro.
Good God Almighty. What's going on, man? How's it going this week so far, man?
Oh, man, my week is coming along great. Let me ask you, what did you do this weekend?
This weekend, I got a chance to, of course, just got bit with the COVID bug. So I had to go through and actually sanitize the house.
Right.
So I went through and did that. After I did that, I got a chance to come watch you play tennis, man.
Exactly. I was about to see if you were going to say that.
That was my first time watching you play tennis, man, since you were in high school.
Right.
I haven't been to a tennis match in forever, man. You did really good, bro.
Well, thank you so much. I'm a part of the Altus Tennis Association in East Point, Georgia, and so we're Sims Park. And so we had a tennis match on Sunday at Kennesaw. And so I texted my family. I was like, you know what, guys, I'm having a tennis match. I'm doing a mixed doubles with my partner. And so we played line 2, and we ended up whooping butt. We did 6-4, 6-2. Mm-hmm. It was a great match. And my brother Faris came to support, and my sister Crystal. So shout out to Crystal and Faris. Thank you guys for coming out.
Yeah, man. It was actually really good. It was cold out there.
It was hot for me when running around. It was hot.
I saw you took off your hoodie and ended up wearing a t-shirt. I'm like, oh gosh, this is ridiculous.
Yeah. And have you seen my serve? My serve was pretty fast, right?
Yeah, it was. You did really good, good. You got a lot of power behind your serve.
So you coming back next Sunday?
Oh no, probably not. Probably. I'll if you FaceTime, y'all be playing out there in Kennesaw?
So we practice at East Point, but we go around to different either tennis courts, country clubs, or different areas where the tennis courts are. And so we travel. And so like I think we're B7 or B6.
Like a region?
Our rating. So that means like we can actually hit the ball.
Okay, nice.
And so it was really good. It was very competitive. The first set was really to actually get into tennis, because I love tennis. First of all, the Australian Open is playing right now, so please tune in if you're tennis lovers. But the first set was really challenging. You know, they were hitting the balls back really consistent, and so we had to work on our strategy, and that's what life is about. Adjustment, making adjustments.
Yeah, it was actually really good, man. Other than that, man, last weekend, I had some amazing wings. I went to a new wing spot. I love some chicken wings. But I went to a new wing spot called Birdie's up in Kennesaw. And, man, I had it's like a Cajun type twist to the wings, and they were amazing. I had that and some gumbo. Lemon pepper wings, I had them all flats. You have to pay a little extra, maybe 50 cents or $1 extra to get all
flats.
I treated myself because my wife went out of town with the little ones to visit my mother-in-law.
That's good.
And I said, you know what, I'm going to go there and treat myself out to dinner. And that's what I did. And it was relaxing. Got a chance to watch LSU. They played somebody else basketball. It was really good. Got a chance to relax a lot, man.
Well, they have a new episode of Ozark. Have you been watching Ozark? You never watched Ozark? Oh my goodness, you're missing Ozark. So we need to go and dive into our thing, because we could talk about just catching up. But Ozark, you need to watch it on Netflix.
Okay.
You'll love it.
I gotta see what's it about. Give me a sneak preview.
It's about you just gotta see it. Let's talk about it next time.
Okay.
Let's talk about it in the next probably 3 episodes. I want you to just talk about Ozark. Okay.
I'll put a pin on that. But man, hey, let's jump into our topic, man. I know this is a great topic, especially to kick off the year. It's so important to go through and actually develop routines, but we're specifically talking about how to build a powerful morning routine. How to build a powerful morning routine. Caleb, building a morning routine is so crucial to some.
Right.
Some may say, I'm going to go there and play devil's advocate. Some may say morning routines are crucial. Others may say, you know what, hey, it's overrated. Right. But let's kind of go through and kick off the, why is it important? Why do you think it's important to have a morning routine?
Well, I think morning routines makes you the priority. So it puts you first in the morning. So, sometimes, most of the time, especially as entrepreneurs, Faris, we give so much to our organization. We give so much to our departments, et cetera. And so that morning routine is all about you. It's all about you being selfish and you doing a few things that you love. And so typically my morning routine and what I've been reading on it is so important just to have at least 3 things that you love to do and what makes you happy. So you do those 3 things consistently. That's your morning routine. Right. And so, that's typically a morning routine. Faris, do you have a morning routine? Something that you do religiously?
Not religiously. My mornings, they go a little like this. I get up super early in the morning. I'm the type of person in the military, like it's almost like when you hear the bell or the bell ring, you get up and you go. And so my morning routine consists of me just getting up and starting my day.
Okay.
I have a nightly routine how I go to unwind my day, but my mornings I normally get up and go because if I'm traveling, I like to get up and travel super early.
Right.
But my morning routine, I'll get into my morning routine in a couple seconds as well.
Okay, well, let me give you a few things about morning routines. Morning routines make you feel like you're on top of the world. That's what that morning routine should make you feel like. And the best way to change your life is to change your morning. And so if you have a great morning, you will have a great day. And so what my goal is to just empower everyone is to take 30 minutes out of your day to develop a morning routine. The world would be a better place if you took 30 minutes for yourself. The world would be much calmer, happier, and productive. And so think about each morning, wake up, do 3 things for yourself. And this is the time to be selfish. Do 3 things for yourself. For my morning routine, I typically wake up, I read the Bible planner. So I read like a planner that I'm actually like reading or a scripture. Then I just started reading this book about options trading. Okay. And so I probably read at least 5 I read 15 pages. It's like an ebook. Okay. So I read like 15 of those pages per day. And then I get on the bike for at least 30 minutes. And so those are my selfish moments for myself. So I'm stimulating my mind, growing a high income skill, as well as getting the exercise that I need, and then pretty much kind of putting my faith up. So definitely giving God the glory.
I like that. And as I go through and think about the morning routine, I may not call it a routine, but the daily things that I normally do is when I get up, I do like to go through and kind of pour good things in me. So what I'll do, I'll definitely listen to a podcast. Okay. I love listening to podcasts. I'm not a big radio person. I couldn't tell you any music that's out. I couldn't tell you probably any new artists that are out right now.
You know Cardi B though.
I know her, but I don't know any of her songs.
You don't know any songs coming out?
No.
Oh, wow.
But just like I said, like I like to go through and feed new different podcasts in. I like to go through. I like to take it old school. I like to go back and pull out podcasts and things that people never have heard of, or people. I like to have you heard of Reverend Ike? Oh man, that's some.
Reverend Ike, what is that?
Reverend Ike, he's a minister.
I said, what is
that? He talks about prosperity and very good mindset person. If you ever want to elevate your mind, oh my gosh, the guy named Reverend Ike. I like listening to him. I like listening to old school individuals that are staple in the leadership realm as well. So I like to go through and listen to things that people normally don't listen to. Then after that, like my routine is really when I get to work, I like to be the first one at work. That's my routine.
Which you are.
And I like because that calms me down, knowing that I can go through and set the pace of the day, knowing that I can go through and take care. If I need to take care of some little things, I can take care of it right then, and then I can go into the bigger tasks I need to accomplish as well. So my routine, it may not consist of a workout regimen every morning or reading this book every morning, but I do go through and feed my mind, and I like to start my day on my accord.
Well, let me ask you a question. I know you mentioned earlier about your nightly routine. What is like your nightly routine? What is something that you do consistently to prepare you for the morning? Because that's actually one of our points for number 3. It talks about the importance of a nightly routine. I guess we'll move that on up. Because a nightly routine, like, is, let me just read what I put down on that one. The night before is so important to establish a great morning routine. Getting the proper amount of sleep and rest is extremely important. And so not only do you get rest and sleep, but you seem like you have something else that you do. What do you do?
I like to do what I like to do a brain dump. I like to go through and look at the tasks that I have to do on the next day. I like to go through and look at my schedule, to go through and see what I have scheduled. I try to stick as close as I can to my schedule as possible. But understanding that whatever times that I can control, I try to control those. The times that is out of my control, I kind of go with the punches on that. And so one thing I like to go through and actually do is I like to go through and actually review my tasks. I like to go through and write down all my tasks that I have to do for the week or for the next day and review them, to go through and put them in proper perspective to see if they're still important or if they're not important. And then once I go through and do that, then I like to go through and actually I unwind myself by either communicating with my wife or going through listen to a podcast until I fall asleep.
Now, how many tests do you typically put on your day? Like, do you try to go for the number? Because I'm more like a numbers person. Like, I try to, if there's 10 things on my list or 12 things on my list, I try to write everything, every little thing. Like, how do you do your task? Hello, my name is Faris Flournoy. I'm the Director of Pediatric Care Services for Prime Care Home Care Services. Have you heard of the Georgia Pediatric Program, GAP? Well, this program provides in-home care services to children with functional disabilities at zero cost to the family. Right, zero cost to the family. Prime Care Home Care Services is a statewide provider servicing all 159 counties in Georgia. If your loved one or your child need in-home care services, please give us a call at 478-345-0523.
I'm at a point right now where I try to knock over the biggest domino. Okay. And so if that means I have 2 tasks for that particular day, I'm just going to have 2 tasks. I'm not a big filler type person. I don't have to go through and fill my day up with stuff. But I realize that there's some tasks that may take multiple days to complete.
Right.
And so that's one thing that I try to do. I try not to go through and overwhelm myself by letting people go through and say, can you do this, do this, do this, do this. I try to go through and knock out those 2 dominoes or those dominoes, the big dominoes. And again, I'm not a big numbers type person where I have to have 10 tasks each day to go through and feel that I completed. No, I like to go through and look at the big picture.
So you eat the frog first.
I like to eat the frog first.
So eat the frog is a representation. It's a book. But eat the frog is doing the biggest task first.
Exactly.
Doing the ugliest task. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. The most difficult. Well, let's talk about that was, I guess, 1, but let's go to number 2. One thing that you can, in order to develop a morning routine, these are some of the things that you could think about for you to start implementing for your morning routine. And so I want you to write these 6 things down. The first one is silence. Okay. And silence is taking some time for yourself. Sometimes in life, like we just get so bombarded with hearing all the noise and the noise that's going on in our head. There's a moment of just silence and meditation that you could do for yourself. And so you can easily go on YouTube and just type in meditation apps or meditation, and then they have stuff for hours, stuff that are live. You just go in and just close your eyes, lay in a supine position, that means straight back, and then you just close your eyes and just meditate, even if it's for 10 minutes out of the day. And I would just encourage, start with small meditations first. So if it's 5 minutes or 10 minutes.
And one thing, a lot of times when it comes to operating in silence, a lot of times, and I think we're programmed to go through and press play to operate in silence. It's like you got to hear something to operate in silence. And silence is the absence of noise. And so one thing that because I caught myself when I used to drive down the road all the time, I'm like, man, I would try to go through and find something to calm down or to get that silent moment.
Right.
And I realized the quickest way to get the silence is to turn everything off.
Oh, wow.
And that's when that's when you have your silent moments, not when you press play. And so, and again, some people use tones to go through and meditate. Some people use silence because some people can get distracted by silence as well.
Right.
And so, but that's one thing that I use to go through and actually meditate. I use complete silence, like nothing. Like,
I used to do that, especially just driving back home from work, just quiet, no radio, nothing. Just here, I'll probably let down the window, have the wind blowing.
That's really
you get a breeze. It is so relaxing. So silence is one point. You want to tackle the next one, affirmation?
Yes, let's go through and talk about affirmations. So some people, they like to go through and have affirmations. They go through and write them out on a card. They'll go through and put them on a mirror. They'll go through and put them in the visor on their vehicle. But the affirmations, what it does, it allows them to go through and communicate with themselves and start having that self-belief as well. And so sometimes when you go through and actually develop different routines, you have to hear yourself louder than what you hear others as well. And I think that's one thing that many people, they use to go through and build themselves up. And it's important because it's like the more you hear a thing, the more you start to believe it. It's almost like if you tell a child that she's beautiful, guess what? She's going to believe that she's beautiful.
Right.
If you tell yourself that you're smart, eventually you're going to start believing it, and you're going to affirm your ability to be smart as well. And so affirmations are crucial when it comes to the conversation with yourself and others as well.
Exactly. I want to steal Pinky Cole's line that everything that I touch turns to gold. So I think that's going to be my affirmation, especially with 2022. I want everything that I touch in my relationships. I want everything that I touch in my finances, everything I touch in my career, in my relationship with family, everything. I want everything that I touch turns to gold. New business opportunities. That's a great affirmation that you can use.
I love that.
Let's talk about number 3, which is visualization. Visualization is sitting in silence but visualizing the future. And so we talked about future pacing before writing out the vision, but sometimes now it's just taking that time not to see what you wrote out, but visualizing in your head. Because sometimes we can just think about all these negative things or things that won't work in our heads. Let's think something positive. Let's visualize the positive. Visualize where we want to be in the next 10 years, where we want to be next week, what goals we have to accomplish today. And so if you visualize that, visualization is a powerful tool.
I think it's beautiful. I think sometimes in life gets so busy to the point where you can't even see it from your inner eye to go. You can't even really see the vision. You can go through and write it, but for you to actually close your eyes and see it, it becomes difficult. So I think developing these routines and being able to go through and actually visualize, I think that's a powerful thing. And I think once you go through and hold on to it, that's something you don't want to let go, because that means something's working as well.
That's good.
Let's go through and talk about the next one, exercise. And this is something that I'm fighting with. I'm fighting with exercise. This morning I got up and did some push-ups at my house. But just like I said, like these are things that will go through and create a routine. I think even when I was operating at my most optimal level, it's because I had a little balance. I was working out at the gym. I was going through reading. I was going through, and I was giving each part of my life an important part in my life as well. Right. And exercising, what it does is it allows you to go through and release stress. It allows you to go through and put your physical body first, your mental body first as well.
And think about this: we only have one body. We only have one this time on Earth, and so you want to make sure that your body is healthy. They always say health is wealth.
It is. Because
you can have all the money in the world, and if you don't have health, you don't have anything. And so you want to make sure you take the time for your body. So even if it's 2 push-ups every morning or whatever it is.
More than 2.
Okay. Well, a few push-ups in the morning, or a 30-minute bike ride. You definitely want to make sure you be important. You take exercise and health as a time for yourself.
Exactly.
Reading. So let's go into number 5, reading. And so that's one thing I have put in my morning routine is not only reading the Word of God, but reading something that's going to stimulate my mind. And so I would encourage you. And it's not about trying to read a book or read all these pages. Take an inventory. To read maybe 5 pages a day or 10 pages, depending on how fast and how well you read and the time frame that you want to commit to that morning routine. And so you can start off as little as 5 pages a day. Yeah.
It's important to go through, and especially as a leader, it's definitely important to go through and actually build the habit of reading. It's important, especially if you have a family or children, for your children to see you reading as well, because now what it does is it builds the habit into them as well. And I think that every successful leader have read books at some point in their time. I'm not saying they read consistently or they read all the time, but I believe that they've read some things that have impacted them. And I think that's one thing that is important to go through and building a routine. And not only that, 'cause I'm going to jump to the 6th one as well, the planning phase. We talked about that earlier. We talked about that, being able to continuously plan out your days, being able to plan out your moments. That's something that's so important as far as routine, and not just the morning routine. It's a part of your life, being able to plan your life, because what it does is it allows you to go through and decrease the stress. It allows you to go through and manage your time. It allows you to go through and do these other things: exercise, read, visualize, say your affirmation. It allows you to put all those things on the plan to go through and make sure they're done as well to create that routine.
Exactly. Let's go into our second topic with our third topic and final topic is about finding out what's worked. So after you got a list of things to do, so you can be silent with meditation, you can do affirmations, you can do visualization, you can exercise, read, and as well as plan your day out. Now you have to evaluate. So you have to pick 3 of those things, or pick 3 things that you feel gravitate toward you. And so once you figure out that, evaluate it. I would say my recommendation is evaluate on a 30-day basis. So figure out what really works. And so take inventory of what you feel. How do you feel? Do I need to commit 10 minutes with reading, or do I need to commit 20 minutes? Do I need to commit 30 minutes with exercising, or do I need to commit only 10 minutes with exercising? So figure out what works for you. So take that moment to evaluate some of those things. Well, I don't like reading. Maybe I do affirmations. Figure out what works for you and what makes you happy.
I like that. And just It's all up to you.
Right.
My thing is your successes, your failures, your routines. It's up to you. And I think, just like I said, like that's the part where I know that there's no quick fix to success. There's no short pathways. There's no shortcut to success.
Not at all.
But I think it's just doing the work and figuring out what works for you. And what works for you may not work for another person, and that's totally fine. Just as long as you find out what works for you.
Well, I want to say this. I feel that as you go into life, especially as entrepreneurs, a lot of the people that listen to our podcast are entrepreneurs. But if you go into it, you want to make sure you have a consistent morning routine. Finding out that morning routine, because you're going to ask the question, well, what do you do? What is your typical day? You want to be able to spit it out. Well, you know what? Every morning I wake up at 5:30. Every morning I wake up around 7:30. I get me a cup of coffee. Then I go in and do my cycling, and then I read the word, or I read a book that's going to be mentally stimulating. So you want to make sure you have your morning routine down packed, that when people say, what do you do, or how's your morning, you can immediately spit it out and say, you know what, this is what I do.
I love it, man. Man, this has been a great episode, Caleb. I think that one takeaway that I got was to stay consistent with my routines that I'm doing every day, to go through and actually get the results that I desire as well. What's one of your key takeaways, man?
One of my key takeaways is the evaluation phase. If something doesn't work, drop it and figure out something else. But give it time. Give it time to really see if it's working on and playing on your day. And so once you do that, if it doesn't work, it's okay to drop it, because my morning routine is going to be different from Faris. Faris likes to wake up super early. I am not as early as an early bird as Faris. And so figure out what works for you.
Exactly. That's perfect, man. Well, guys, there you have it. This has been another great episode of Conversation with the Homecare Guys. We hope that you enjoyed it. We also want you to tune in to us each week on Tuesdays and Thursdays. You can catch us here on Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, Anchor. Go through and find all your streaming platforms. You'll hear new episodes from the Homecare Guys. Also, we want you to subscribe. Guys, it's so important if you like to go through and show support for the Homecare Guys, to just click that subscribe button, because what it does is allows for other people to go through and actually see what you're watching, and also to get this good content into their lives as well. So we want you to subscribe, want you to like, and want you to share, and want you to continue to support this great podcast. So Caleb, there you have it, man. It's been a great episode, man.
Great episode. I hope you stay safe.
Take care.